everyone, and welcome to today's video where I am discussing the ins and outs of 2025. Basically, it's a trend on Instagram where you talk about things that are going to be in this year or out this year. These are my hopes of what will be in and out, but I doubt it. Anyway, let's get into the video. I actually drew this on live on Twitch. That wasn't correct English, but it's fine. I never speak properly. But thank you to those who kept me company while I drew this on stream. Shout out to you. And you can follow my Twitch at MandyWeirdMore down in the description below. But while drawing this, I had a lot of fun with you all, so thank you. For the position, I did my awful shrimp pose that I do actually sit like this while I draw. It's really bad for your posture. You need to sit properly. However, I will never sit properly. I don't think it's in my body. I just don't think I'm capable of doing that. I yearn to be a shrimp. I yearn. Though, I definitely reworked this pose a lot because I was just struggling. As you can see, I just started all over again. I was doing, basic anatomy, shapes. I learned most of this from my favorite anatomy books, Morpho, which is Simplified Forms. And I also like skeleton and bone reference points. Those were very helpful. But I did not use this for the pose. That's how I know anatomy the way I do. I try not to use my own body as a reference because my anatomy is very odd because I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, so I'm hypermobile, so I bend in very odd ways that most people cannot do. I can bend my knees backwards, and it's actually really bad for them, but I do it accidentally all the time because I don't even realize I'm doing it, and then the pain is later. So I try not to use my own self as a reference, though I did for this because I'm drawing myself. So the hand pose ends up looking a little funky, but that's because I hold my pencil wrong. And it actually impresses a lot of people that I'm an artist who holds their pencil so weirdly and cannot even write holding a pencil correctly. And I'm somehow an artist, but I think it's cool. I have my own unique way of holding a pencil. Now, finally, into what I said this video is actually about. It's my ins and outs of 2025. I cannot believe we're in 2025. It sounds crazy. I feel like I'm still stuck in 2020 during the pandemic just because, my growth is stunted or something. Anyway, ins and outs. Ins, I would say, are small artists, but that's just a hope for me because I'm a small artist and I want other artists to uplift each other. So I've been trying to meet other artists on Instagram and TikTok. TikTok is unfortunately on the outs because of the government, the US government. I am in the US, so I will lose my TikTok access, so that's sad, losing my mutuals. But anyway, back to the ins. I feel like we're gonna need something to distract us from the TikTok ban. So I think live streaming and YouTube are gonna be really back in. How they were in 2020 when everyone was obsessed with live streaming. I feel like people are gonna become obsessed with it again. Also, I live stream in case you guys want to check it out in the description. Next, I would say collabs are in. Just because I want to collaborate with other artists, I think it would be really cool, and I want to make more friends in the internet sphere. So I'm saying this is in purely for myself because I want to collaborate with other artists because that would be so cool. Next is constructive criticism. It's mainly because people are really mean online. They'll tell you your art is awful, but they won't tell you what they don't like about it. So I feel like we should be constructive with our hate. It's not even hate, just ways you could improve, because we all should be striving for improvement constantly because we're never done growing. Even when we're old and gray, there's still so much we can learn because the world is so big. But anyway, we need to stop this sucks, or this is the worst thing I've ever seen, and just actually say what you don't like about it, so maybe they can change it, or maybe they like that about themselves. So be constructive with your hate, and maybe don't hate at all, and just say what you think and not be mean for the sake of it. So that's an in. I doubt that will be an in, but constructive criticism for the win. Next, I'd say oversharing. That, again, is just on the ins purely for myself, because I am constantly oversharing, and sometimes it even freaks people out. They're like, we just met, why are you telling me all of this? But I like oversharing because I like to be understood as quickly as possible, and I have so much crazy stuff going on. I just like to know about other people as much as I want them to know about me. So I think we should all overshare. Not like confidential information, but I mean, that's obvious. But just overshare your thoughts and your feelings, because I want to understand you all as people, and I want you to understand me as a person. And I just love hearing what other people think and understanding others, because I have a really hard time understanding things if they're not said straight out to me. I am autistic, and other people find it annoying when I don't get subtleties. So it would be so much easier if everyone overshared, and I would like it, and I think other people would find it helpful too, because I know I'm not the only one that doesn't get these subtleties. You see it all the time where things go over other people's head. I just feel like it happens to me a lot, and I would really appreciate if oversharing was in this year. So please make it the new 2025 thing. Overshare everything. And lastly, for the ins, I'd say reading the classics, just because with all the things that are going on right now, it's feeling a little dystopian, and I feel like we definitely need to be reading the classics. Everybody should be reading, but the reading skills in our generation are so bad. Like, a lot of us can't read higher levels, so audiobooks are a thing too. I definitely recommend audiobooks. Even if you have a hard time focusing, I listen on 2 times speed because I'm insane, and it's helpful. I feel like reading the classics will help everyone prevent repeating the same things, because the classics are often based on what's going on in the world around them. And a lot of these things are repeating, like the TikTok ban itself is kind of crazy, as they're taking away our own freedom of speech, which is something everybody preaches about quite frequently, but they're taking it away right now. So I really want to read Fahrenheit again. Fahrenheit 451, is that the name? If I said it wrong, I'm sorry. But it's the burning of all the books, because it's also very, very accurate right now with all the books getting banned in libraries. So I think everybody should be reading the classics, and I think that should definitely be an in with the world we're living in, so we don't repeat the same things, because if we forget history, we're doomed to repeat it. And it would be very helpful to not repeat it. Now, let's get into the outs. First out I have is AI, which I freaking hate AI. I have a whole video about it and why it's bad, because it's bad for the planet, it's bad for artists, and it literally steals from humans, artists, and it's just stealing their work and making their own. It's basically tracing over someone's work and claiming it's your own, but it's a robot doing it, and then somebody claims the AI is their work because they put the words into the robot. It's awful for the environment, it's awful for artists, it's awful in all ways, really. I just don't want to see any more AI, which is already not happening, unfortunately. I would say it was on the outs because I want it to be, but it's unfortunately not, because Meta just added a new way to send photos AI photos to your family on Messenger, or your friends, whoever you're messaging on Messenger, Facebook Messenger. It's just now you can send AI photos that you generate immediately to people you know, which is awful because I already explained to my family enough that this is AI and it's not a real photo, because I'm tired of telling my dad that these are not real things and they're not happening. You can calm down. Unfortunately, that is not stopping anytime soon, but I would like it to, so I put it on the outs. We're manifesting. Next, we have Pinterest, which is really, really sad that I put it on the outs because I actually love Pinterest. It's one of my favorite platforms. It used to be, actually, because you didn't have to talk to anybody, and it's great inspiration, and it really gets the creative juices flowing. However, now you can't scroll Pinterest for like a second without an ad popping up, or all of the photos are AI. I want to look at other artists' work and be impressed and go, oh, I want to use a bit of their style. I love their style. I want to practice this technique. I want to do this hobby. But now Pinterest is all AI, and Google is becoming like that too, and it really sucks because those aren't artists, and I don't want my art to look like AI. So I don't want to be on Pinterest anymore because all of this fake swap is not true artwork, and that sucks. So yeah, Pinterest is on the outs for me. Don't know if it's on the outs for you, but I've seen a lot of people complaining about it on TikTok as well, but mainly about the ads and not the AI. I feel like I'm the biggest AI hater and that there's not enough people hating on AI. Next, unfortunately, I'm gonna cry on the outs, is TikTok because they're freaking banning it. What am I gonna do with my life? I'm addicted to that app. That's how I communicate with my sister. We send each other like 60 TikToks a day. What am I gonna do with my time? Well, it will actually probably make me more productive, but still, they can't just take my app away. You're taking my circus away. I'm gonna pay more attention to the government and you're not gonna like it. And I'm gonna read even more and ban books and you're not gonna like it, government. I'm gonna become so much worse. So you're taking away my distraction, so I'm gonna become worse. Anyway, sorry for that little rant. On the outs again is hate on new artists, because you often see the beginner artists on TikTok and they're trying so hard to improve, and they're immediately like, maybe you shouldn't be an artist. Maybe you should try something else. Don't even try. And that's awful. But I feel like that will go away with the TikTok, though I do see it more so on Instagram. So I hope we can be kinder to each other in 2025, especially to new artists, because of AI. If you are so mean to new artists and you don't want them to try at all, they're gonna go to AI and it's didn't speak English there. It's gonna become more popular than it already is. So you're just sending people who want to try to be creative to the arms of AI, and you're not letting them grow. Or you could be like putting down a new artist that could be one of the greats. Like Van Gogh was hated on his whole lifetime until he passed away, and now he's one of the greatest artists in the world. And he wasn't until he passed away. So think about that next time you're being mean to a small artist who's just learning. And next on the outs, we have art block. And I haven't really had that much of bad art block, but when you're going through art block, we should just practice anatomy, because then you're not really going through art block. Yeah, you're not drawing any cool work, but you're practicing learning the basic skills while you're blocked up in your mind. So while you practice doing the basics, you're unclogging your mind. So hopefully it will get you out of that art block while improving your skills. So I'm gonna try and say art block on the out. We don't have time for art block. We have to create more. Next we have on the outs is doom scrolling, which I feel like I won't doom scroll if TikTok's not there, but still I'm really sad about it. But I often doom scroll because I'm just in a doomful mood and I need to stop it because it does not help. It just makes me sadder. So instead of doom scrolling, read the classics because it's on the ends. And doom scrolling isn't going to change anything. It's just going to make you sadder. So don't do it. Hopefully it's on the outs. Doubt it. But I put it on the outs just for hoping, manifesting, as I said. Next we have Twitter/X, but no one really ever calls it X. It's on the outs. Nobody should use that. It's run by awful Elon Musk, and hardly anybody likes him, neither the right or the left, because he kind of sucks. And I don't like a lot of things he says, and I am not the first one to say that. And Twitter is, like, hardly ever used now. It's going down the hill. I don't like Twitter. I didn't really like it to begin with, but it's so much worse with all the politics on there. It's hard to find anything art-related now, because that's really the only reason I was on it, but now it seems to be all political. And it's very hard to find any sources that are even real. Even if I want to read about politics, most of it is fake, and you can now buy a check mark when you aren't even verified. You can just buy one. So it's really confusing, and you can't trust anything on that website. So it's just basically inhaling a bunch of fake news. So that's why I'm not on Twitter. And there's no way to find the art. I mean, you could search it, but it gets lost under all this slop. So that is why Twitter/X is on the out for me, and you will not find me there. Though I do use Blue Sky at Mandy Weirdmore if you want to check it out, but I feel like it's all artists and not enough like regular memes, so it's just going to be another artist platform that doesn't get enough traction and will probably die out, sadly, but I really like it for now. I like seeing all the different artists. Right now it kind of reminds me of Pinterest, though you can't really save anything, though you can like and reshare like Twitter. I get most of my Twitter information from not going on Twitter, from Hasanabi's live streams. It's very good. That's all I can say. I do watch his streams religiously. It's a problem. I write in cursive for my ins and outs, so hopefully you can read it. I mean, cursive is way better than my regular handwriting because it's normally pretty bad. So I feel like cursive just makes my handwriting look better even if you can't read it. So hopefully you can. Hopefully you can read cursive. I know they don't really teach it anymore, but it's way better than my print. Sorry. And after I write down the ins and outs, I go over what my favorite things of 2024 were, and I do a different drawing. The next drawing is a little bit goofy, but I did it on purpose. I just wanted like a meme sort of like me blinking my eyes at you of all my favorite things in 2024. And I also did my 2025 goals, which was draw in comic format, because I would really like to make my own comic. That would be a dream, honestly. I think I might do it on Webtoon. I don't know. Next is understand color theory, because I love my sketches. Like, my pen sketches are my favorite. But once I use color, I really hate my drawings. Like, it ruins the whole thing. I don't know. Next would be draw characters interacting, because I often just draw them by themselves. Next, after that, is live streaming. I want to interact with you guys more, and I feel like live streaming is a good way to do that because we can talk in real time. Also, you could join my Patreon, where we could join the Discord and talk. And lastly is to practice gesture drawing, which is like the fluid movements and drawing faster, just like poses. It's hard to describe. You draw a line of action, and then you draw the shapes of the body around the line of action, and it's like a timed drawing, and you do it really quick. So it's just to understand anatomy and to not focus so much on the details, because I really want to get better at doing quick poses because I take so long to draw. And then I show you my stuff I like after I finish this crazy meme-like drawing of me batting my eyelashes at you. I hope you like. For the clothing, I chose to draw something I wear every day, which would be my Taylor Swift cardigan, of course. Though I do own all of them except the red cardigan from the Red album. So it would be hard to choose one cardigan, but I think my favorite is Midnight's just because I like the dark blue. But I also really like my Folklore one, but I never wear it because it's white and I'm so scared I'm gonna stain it. Literally, don't give me anything white because there will be paint on it. I was trying really hard to get my curls down right. That's why I'm so focused on this. I usually just make my hair all like sticking out, which is true. My hair is known to constantly look like I have bedhead. But the reason it's like that is because I have curls and don't know how to take care of it, so I brush it out constantly and it looks really frizzy. But I've been trying to take care of my curls, so I wanted to draw that. That's like another 2025 thing. Take care of my curls and stop brushing them out so I stop looking like a frizzed monster. For the legs, I drew myself in a skirt. I've been wearing this black skirt that's actually not a skirt. It's very cool because it's a skirt in the front and shorts in the back. So, very cool. It's like a mullet of skirts. Party in the back. Well, no. Which would be the party in the front and party in the back? I mean, whatever. It doesn't matter. So, next I draw tights and then my little Mary Janes, which are the style of shoes. I recently had to explain that to my dad because he's like, who's Mary Jane? Because I can't call my shoes that because it just confuses him so much. Do you know someone named Mary Jane? No, it's just my shoes, Dad. Thanks. I had a really hard time narrowing down my favorite interests, though, because they're usually all over the place, and I have so many. But I narrowed it down well, and some of them I think are actually now special interests. Well, just the one, Taylor Swift, is in my stuff I liked in 2024. That's gotta be a special interest now with how much I'm obsessed with her. I know special interests, you don't really gain them as you get older, but you can sometimes. Usually it's a hyperfixation, but no, Taylor Swift is definitely a special interest now, along with, well, I've always had a special interest in animation, and so I know what it feels like. So this is definitely very similar, and I just love her so much. So that definitely had to go on the list. That one was easy, but narrowing it down to other things was kind of hard because I'm all over the place and my interests vary day to day. But I had to put Fourth Wing. I knew that because I love Fourth Wing so much. I wish I could be Violet Sorrengail in the movie or the show that's upcoming. I think it's a show, actually. But I love Violet Sorrengail so much. She's literally me. She has Ehlers-Danlos just like me, and I've never seen a character with Ehlers-Danlos, so it's so exciting. I also put drawing in pen because I've just been obsessed with doing that on my sketchbook. Those are also my drawings that pop up the most in TikTok, so it's really encouraging to see people like those drawings, so I do draw them more because people like them. I definitely had to add Baldur's Gate because I love that game. It's my new favorite video game. I've played it by myself and I've played it on stream with y'all. Definitely check out the VODs on my VOD channel. They're really funny because I'm obsessed with Astarion. He's amazing. What can I say? And then next we have Jujutsu Kaisen, which is an anime I've grown to love a lot this year, which has Gojo in it. If you watched that video where I made a cardboard cutout of him, you will know. I also put Twisted Lies in there, which is a book I really enjoyed last year. TV Girl is a band that I really enjoy. And at the very end of the year, I became obsessed with Halsey. Love her music. and her new album is amazing. Hits my chronic illness heart. And I added Geek Girl, which I became obsessed with at the beginning of the year. And Ghost, of course, from Call of Duty. And here is the finished product of my ins and outs, and my finished product of all the things I loved last year. I hope you enjoyed watching the video with me and seeing my hopes for this year and saying goodbye to the things I loved last year. It was great spending time with you. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend/week. And most importantly, everyone, stay weird. Bye.